Okay, so we're talking boundaries in this series. And for those of you who are new here, go back and watch the Symptoms of Codependency series and the Upbringing Codependency series, because some of that stuff really helps just establish a base level of knowledge before getting into this stuff. So what I want to talk about quickly in this video is a prompt that I have used with a lot of clients over the years that was actually posted on Instagram by a fellow therapist, Tiffany Rowe, a long time ago. And I just love it. So she says, replace the question, how do I set this boundary, with what are my fears around setting this boundary? And the reason why I find that to be such a helpful prompt is because a lot of times that question around what's my fear around setting the boundary really takes us out of this specific experience right now and actually helps us get deeper or maybe get broader into the larger fears around setting a boundary, right? So I'll give you an example. My boundary around how I want to be treated by my partner, okay? I get spoken to in a certain way, I don't like it, and so I want to be very specific and set a boundary around, what I will and will not tolerate as far as how I'm spoken to. If I ask myself the question, what is my fear around setting the boundary? What might potentially come up in that exploration is, I'm worried that they're going to leave. I'm worried that they're going to not like the fact that I'm setting a boundary. They're going to call me out in it and they're going to walk out the door, right? They're going to activate in some way my abandonment or my fear of rejection wound. And so when I look at it from what's my fear around this, it's not that it invalidates the fear, but what it does is it helps me connect it to something that is much deeper and much older than what this specific experience right now is actually presenting me with. And so I'm able to then maybe work to self-soothe in that moment and reach inward and say, okay, Vanessa, you are worthy of being spoken to in this specific kind of way, right? And if this person can't hear that and they can't respect that and they decide to leave because of you asking for this respect, that's not about you. That's not an abandonment. That's actually about them. That has nothing to do with you. And I might be able to talk myself through, or I use this term reparenting a lot. I might be able to do a little bit of the reparenting work around that fear that, again, is much more deeply rooted than the specific instance that's happening right now.